When she walked through my door that evening, smiling like we were old friends, she had no idea I had every single one of her texts to my husband saved on my phone. She hugged me, actually hugged me, and I hugged her back, feeling her arms around me, knowing what I knew. Before I tell you what happened next, do me a favor. If you're hooked on this story, hit that subscribe button, because trust me, this is just the beginning. I've got more stories about betrayal, revenge, and women who refused to be victims. Don't miss them. Now, back to what I did next. 7 years. That's how long we'd been married. 7 years of inside jokes and Sunday mornings in bed and knowing exactly how he takes his coffee. I trusted him completely. The kind of trust where you don't even think about it anymore. And her, she was just Sarah. My co-worker from the marketing department. Sweet Sarah with her bright laugh and her homemade cookies she'd bring to the office. She lived 3 blocks away. She was always around. Always. At first, I didn't think anything of it. She'd stop by with wine on Friday nights. She'd text me funny memes. She felt like a friend. A real one. But then I started noticing something strange about the way she looked at him. It was small things. The way her voice changed when he walked into the room. Softer. Almost breathy. How she'd touch his arm when she laughed at his jokes, her fingers lingering just a second too long. How she always found reasons to be near him. Needed help reaching something on a high shelf, wanted his opinion on her new car. Asked him to look at her laptop because it was acting weird. I told myself I was being paranoid. Insecure. She was just friendly, right? That's who she was. Then came the night that changed everything. It was 2:47 a.m. I remember the exact time because I couldn't sleep. You know that feeling when something's just off? When your body knows before your brain catches up? His phone was on the nightstand. It buzzed once, twice, 3 times. I looked over. He was asleep, breathing slow and steady. And there on the screen, lighting up the dark room, was her name, Sarah. My stomach dropped. Actually dropped like I was falling. I picked up his phone. My hands were shaking. I knew his passcode. We'd always known each other's passcodes. That's how much we trusted each other. The messages loaded. Flirty. So flirty it made my skin crawl. Inside jokes I didn't understand. Heart emojis. Laughing emojis. You're so funny, with 3 crying, laughing faces. I can't stop thinking about what you said earlier. I scrolled up, and what I saw made me physically sick. Late night conversations. 2 a.m., 3 a.m., while I was asleep right next to him. Her telling him he looked good at the barbecue last weekend, complimenting his arms, his smile, saying things like, "Your wife's so lucky," with a winky face that felt like a knife. And then I saw it. Your wife doesn't need to know we text this much, does she? Here's the thing, though. I kept scrolling, and I noticed something. He wasn't responding the same way she was. His replies were friendly, sure, but short. Haha, thanks. Appreciate it. You're funny. He wasn't matching her energy. Wasn't sending heart emojis back. Wasn't initiating. She was pursuing him, aggressively, relentlessly. But there was one message that made me realize something worse was coming. I almost missed it. It was from 3 days ago. Her message, buried in the thread, "Next time we're alone together, I'm not holding back anymore." He hadn't responded to that one at all. I wanted to wake him up right then, shake him, scream, throw his phone across the room and demand answers. I wanted to call her, tell her exactly what I thought of her. My chest was tight. My hands were shaking so hard I almost dropped the phone. But then I stopped. I sat there in the dark, listening to him breathe. And something shifted inside me, something cold and clear. No, she thought she was being clever, secretive, sliding into my husband's life while smiling in my face. I decided to be smarter. I didn't wake him. I took screenshots of everything, every single message. Then I put his phone back exactly where it was and lay down next to him, staring at the ceiling until the sun came up. For 3 days, I didn't say a word. Not to him, not to her. I just watched. Remember, she thought I was clueless, thought I had no idea. I watched her text him during our family dinner that Saturday, watched her phone light up under the table while she laughed at something I said, watched her smile at me, all warmth and friendship, while her fingers were typing God knows what to my husband. I watched him glance at his phone, read her messages, and barely react. He'd type back something quick, then put it away. He seemed almost annoyed by the attention. That's when I realized something. He wasn't the problem. Not yet, anyway. She was. She was the one pushing, the one plotting. The one who thought she could take what was mine. And I decided I wasn't going to confront her privately. Wasn't going to give her the chance to spin some story or play the victim. No, I was going to bring her into my territory, my home, where I had all the power. So on Monday morning, I picked up my phone and sent her the invite that would change everything. I kept it casual, light, friendly. Hey, want to come over Friday for wine and girl talk? Been too long. She responded in less than 2 minutes. OMG, yes, I'd love that. What time? Should I bring anything? 3 exclamation points, 2 emojis. So enthusiastic it almost made me laugh. She probably thought this was her chance. More access to him, more time in our home, more opportunities to make her move. I told my husband that afternoon. Just mentioned it casually while we were making dinner. Sarah's coming over Friday for wine. That cool? He looked up from chopping vegetables. Yeah, sure, that's nice. That's it. That's all he said. Cool, casual, no nervousness, no guilt in his eyes. He had no idea about the texts, no idea what she'd been doing behind my back, behind both our backs, really. And that told me everything. He wasn't fully involved, not yet, but her pursuit was crystal clear. She was coming for him, and she thought I was too blind to see it. I spent Thursday getting ready, bought her favorite wine, that expensive Pinot Grigio she always talked about, cleaned the living room, put out the good glasses, set up the coffee table with cheese and crackers like we were having some cozy girls' night. Everything looked perfect, welcoming, safe. What she didn't know was I had something special planned for our girl talk. While she was probably texting him about coming over to my house, sitting on my couch, drinking my wine, I was upstairs printing out every single screenshot, every flirty message, every heart emoji, every "your wife doesn't need to know." Friday couldn't come fast enough. The doorbell rang at exactly 7 p.m. She looked perfect, makeup done, hair curled, wearing that perfume that costs more than most people's grocery bills. She had on tight jeans and a low-cut top. For wine with a girlfriend, sure. And let me tell you, the confidence on this woman. She walked in like she owned the place, hugging me, telling me how much she'd missed me, how beautiful our home looked. I poured the wine. We sat on the couch. She talked about work, about her weekend plans, about some guy who'd asked her out but wasn't her type. I watched her perform, watched her smile and laugh and play the role of good friend. 10 minutes of small talk. 10 minutes of me sipping wine and nodding and waiting. Then she asked it. The question I knew was coming. Where's Michael? I smiled, set down my wine glass. He's upstairs, but before I call him down, I wanted to ask you something. She tilted her head, still smiling, still clueless. Sure, what's up? I picked up my phone, unlocked it, pulled up the screenshots. Why are you texting my husband at 3 a.m? Her face went white, actually white, like all the blood just drained out. What? I turned the phone toward her, let her see, her own words staring back at her. That's not... She was stammering, fumbling. Her hands were shaking. It wasn't like that, she finally said. I was just being friendly. We're friends. You're misunderstanding this. Am I? I scrolled, showed her more. Your wife doesn't need to know. Next time we're alone together, I'm not holding back. You think those are friendly? I was joking. It was harmless. He never, what? Encouraged you? You're right. He didn't. But that didn't stop you, did it? She tried to stand up. I should go. Sit down. Something in my voice made her freeze. She sat back down. I invited you here because I wanted you to see something, I said. My voice was calm, cold. This is my home, my husband, my life, and you're not welcome in any of it. Not in my house, not in my marriage, not anywhere near what's mine. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean... Yes, you did. You meant every word, every text, every time you touched his arm or showed up at our door or smiled in my face while plotting behind my back. That's when I heard footsteps on the stairs. Michael came down. I'd told him 10 minutes before she arrived, shown him everything, watched his face go from confusion to shock to anger. He stood in the doorway, looking at her, just looking. "You need to leave," he said. His voice was flat. "Now." She grabbed her purse, stood up so fast she almost knocked over her wine. Tears were running down her face, ruining that perfect makeup. "I'm sorry," she said again. To him, to me, to nobody. She practically ran to the door, and just before she left, she turned back one more time, maybe hoping for forgiveness, maybe hoping for something to save. I stared at her until she looked away. The door closed, and she was gone. She blocked both of us that night, deleted us from every social media platform, started avoiding the break room at work. I'd see her sometimes in the hallway, and she'd turn around and walk the other way. Good. Michael, he had work to do, a lot of work, because even though he wasn't the one pursuing, he still let those messages happen. Still responded, still kept it from me. Full phone access. Always. Anytime I wanted to look, I could look. He deleted her number, blocked her on everything, started coming to bed at the same time I did instead of staying up late on his phone. We're working through it. I decided to stay because he wasn't the active cheater. He was naive. Stupid maybe, but not malicious. Trust takes time to rebuild, though. We're not there yet. But we're trying. Here's what I learned from all of this. She thought she could snake into my life quietly, thought I wouldn't notice, thought she could smile in my face while texting my husband in the dark. Instead, she learned that some women don't crumble. We strategize. To anyone watching who's ever had someone come after what's yours, here's my advice. Don't just react. Don't just cry or scream or fall apart. Outsmart them. Make them walk into your trap. Make them face what they've done on your terms. Take back the power they tried to steal, because at the end of the day, they're betting on you being weak. Prove them wrong.